Hello, welcome to Thursday. Yeah, it is Thursday. Thursday night. Week's creeping by already, isn't it, guys? Um, yeah, I can't believe it's Thursday already. Um, so just here to up and chit chat. See if anybody's up. Just a little bored for a minute. Hey, life on a budget. Hello, how are you tonight? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for stopping in. I'm in my construction studio. As you can see, it's the only room in the house where I can pretty much be alone. Kids are just kind of hanging out. We just had dinner a little bit ago, so we're all kind of hanging out. I was bored. I figured I'd go online and see who's up and about. I'm trying to center it so it's yeah. Either way, looks horrible either way. No matter what I do. So my daughter had like a tapestry that was up against the wall that had a bunch of like cartoon people on it that she enjoyed, and so that was fun. But when I actually had to actually fix the wall, which we did last Monday. No, I'm sorry, this Monday. Yeah, it all had to get taken down so we didn't damage it. So you want to make a vision board? Can you elaborate a little bit more on that? I don't understand what you mean by a vision board. Sounds intriguing though. Like what you want to do? Are you talking about for your channel or for your life or personal? I don't understand if you're talking personal or um, for your channel, but I am intrigued. I don't know how much you like to cook. I love to cook, and I've been broker than hell and had to cook. Um, stuff you won't. You mean you won't? You mean stuff you won't get to in the life you have left? Um, your bucket list, basically, what you're asking. A vision board, yeah. Okay. Some people call it a bucket list as well. Okay, I got what you're saying. Yeah. What's your number one, if you don't mind me asking? I never, even though I'm getting up there in age, I never actually thought of a bucket list. Um, what's your number one thing that you want to do, though? I'm curious. I gotta think about that question for a minute. I know I've stumped myself with my own question. You want to go to New York? You want to visit New York? Like, okay. Specifically, what about New York? New York is a very big place. They've got Niagara Falls, which is beautiful. If that's in the upper, that's out of the city, but it's a beautiful place, and I recommend if you get the opportunity to go there, definitely. Yeah, good thing you weren't on it. That's for sure. I'm glad that you're here. Sorry for that big. Oh, sorry, it's backwards. My the way that it records is backwards, so I'm always like, all right, but this Sorry about that. There's a tape covering a conduit or something. I'm not really sure. I don't even remember. Oh, a giant hole. Yeah. It was a giant hole that they were covering up. So either way, it's all construction. Sorry about that. But oh, you want to go to the city? Okay, to walk Times Square. Yeah, that's cool. I've never been there personally. I've been in New York. I've been to Niagara Falls. That was amazing. Um, I've been to Grand Central Station when I was driving a train back from uh, Rhode Island. We took a train back to Florida from there, which was a very fun experience. If you've ever traveled on a train, that's a fun way to travel because they've got a little cart that you go to. When I was in it, they had a. I'm a smoker, and they had the last smoking train that was available. It was this little room that had this giant fan on the top that would suck all the stuff out, and um, but that's where the party was happening on the train. But it was right after Hurricane. I don't remember what hurricane this was. This was 15. This is over 15 years ago. So, but they were just clearing the railroad tracks out. And by the time we made it to Georgia, every ounce of alcohol on the train had been drank. I mean, that's how long the trip was. And everybody was waiting to get back to Florida. But train is my most favorite form of transportation. That's for sure. If I have to travel long distances, train is the way to go. Bus, least favorite. I've had to go on buses. Those are that's hard, But airplane's quick, but you don't have the experience of, the guy screaming in the middle of the night or whatever, whatever. We had a lot of instances. We had one guy that was so doped up, he was so out of control that the funny thing was he passed out. He passed out in the middle of the aisle, and the stewardesses didn't even want to wake him up because he was such a troublemaker that they were just like walking over him to not even telling him, sir, you got to get out. You're not allowed to sleep in the aisle. They just let him sleep because they didn't want to, they didn't want to have to deal with him. Oh yeah. Yeah. The train's been the best. If you, well, you know what? I was going to say if you have company, but I met people that were on the train that I just sat back and hung out with. We played cards in the, you know, at night, stuff like that. And the, what do you call it? The little area where you sit and eat, you know, just sat up, played cards before we all went back to our seats and dozed off. But so, life on a budget. Do you have, can I call you by your first name? I'm Brandon. I don't want to call you, I don't know if you want me to call you Life or, but if you have a name, Pat. Okay, Pat. I'm Brandon, obviously. Nice to officially meet you. Thank you for coming on my live, Pat. It's awesome that you made it. So, Pat, if you don't mind me asking, what state are you in? I'm in South Florida, obviously. Arizona. Okay. So now you're three or 4 hours ahead of me. No, I think you're 3 hours ahead of me. Yeah. Or under me. I'm sorry. So it's like 5 o'clock in the afternoon for you, right? something like that. Florida, Florida's. I grew up here, but I've traveled around, and Florida is the weirdest state. 6. So you're only 2 hours behind me. Okay. All right. Yeah. Yeah, it's 8:18 here. You're only 2. Um, I got another one of my favorite channels is that guy from Arizona. It's called Searching for the Dream is his YouTube channel, I think. I posted him a few times on my posts when I go live with him. And I don't go live with him. When he's on live and I'm gonna join, I post it. But he's over there. He's a retired man. He's like 75 years old. Um, yeah, I'm just talking right now. But yeah, Arizona. I went to the closest I came to you is I went to Las Vegas one time, and that was a crazy trip because I was on a budget. I only had $500 for a week, and I was supposed to be able to sleep on my buddy's hotel room floor. He's like, "Hey, they were there for like a pool tournament." And he said, "Just buy a plane ticket and you can stay crash with us." Well, his league forfeited. And then like literally as we're getting off the plane going into the hotel, they were like, "Yeah, we're getting our refund. We're going back home." And me and him are like, "Well, we're stuck here for a week. And now we don't have the free housing." Uh, so we went to the cheapest hotel we could find, and we were getting those meal deals at 2 o'clock in the morning. You get like they a lot of the hotels they try to get you in to gamble, and they'll offer like free egg and cheese breakfast for $1 with a ham steak, and we would literally set our alarm clock so we could get up and get because it was in the off hours, so it was like from 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. you can get so but we did it. We did it with but it's not fun in Vegas when you don't have money. I'll tell you that right now. Definitely not. But that's how it was. I was 22 years old, I think. I'm 40 now, so no, shit. I'm almost 50, 48. So, that was quite a while ago. But it's the same experience, when you're broke and hey, broke, you're broke, what are you gonna do? So I was actually thinking of Pat, you let me know what do you think of this? Because I'm by trade, I'm a cook and I know how to make things taste good. And your husband's brother lived there years ago. You always went, yeah, okay. It's fun to see. The thing is with me is I'm from a tropical area. I was like turning into a skeleton. My nose was bleeding. I was drying out. Hey, Miss Helms, welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm on with Pat from Life on a Budget. She's got her own channel. Yeah, it's you and her. Both of you hit the likes, so we're good. Thank you, ladies. So, let's talk about the Vegas trip, right? And yeah, my nose, I wasn't used to that desert atmosphere. So my nose was just completely dried out to the point where it was like cracking and bleeding and, you know, so. Pat from Life on a Budget. Miss Helms is in Arizona. She's closer to you than she is to me. Miss Tara Helms is in Washington State, Pat. She does a lot of. She's a like a history professor. And she does a lot of um, history things. And lately, she's been doing a lot of like antique. Uh, what do you call it? Oh, what about Las Vegas? I was just talking with her about the only time that I've been out west on there was a trip to Las Vegas. I'd been there once, you know, and we were just talking about my um, subtropical being used to that here and not being able to adjust to the desert atmosphere too much, you know. Well, hello, Mr. Carr. Hey, ladies, we are blessed with Chef Bill Carrar. He's the one that did the egg splitting video with us, where we screwed everything up and had a good time doing it, where he broke the yolk. Say hello, Mr. Bill. Will I go back to Las Vegas? I Yes, I would. I would like to have a lot more money when I went back because being broke at Las Vegas just was not much fun at all, you know. That was actually during the time when they actually let you do the tours of the Hoover Dam, which they stopped doing since 9/11. And I wish we would have done it, but we were drinking and the tours left at like 8 a.m. in the morning. And like I said, we were getting breakfast at 3 o'clock in the morning, you know. So we weren't able to do any of that. But it was a good time. Oh, I did have a really good time. I think I would have, with a little more money and a little more preparation. But like I said, I was kind of thrown in there with no money and no, I was semi $500 for a week in Las Vegas is not a lot, including having to pay for your hotel room. You know, we had to pay for our hotel rooms, stuff like that. So, and my buddy didn't have a dime on him. He was just there for the free hotel room because he was playing for the pool league. You know, so it made it interesting. Um, no, Bill, you're gonna have to rewind the chat a little bit to get into the conversation where we're at. But no, I wanted to go to the Hoover Dam, but the tour buses that took us from Las Vegas to the Hoover Dam, and at that time they actually brought you inside of the Hoover Dam, which would have been a really cool tour. But they left at 8 a.m. in the morning, but we didn't, you know. Miss Helms, the time that you went where you were broke to in New York, New York, was escorted off the floor for looking 16 when you were 22. Oh, you looked young when you were. I got a little funny story about that because when I turned 21, my brother was like 18, 19, but he was bigger than me. He was a lot bigger than me. I'm like the runt of my family, you know, as far as, I mean, most of my family's pretty big people, tall, you know. Um, but I gave my brother my ID card so he could get into the bar with us, with our group of friends. And he went ahead of me. The bouncer let him in. And then when I showed him my actual license, bouncer gave me a freaking hard time about it. It's like, oh, I don't know if this is you. What's your name? Like, fuck. My little brother is using my ID. Doesn't look nothing like me, but close enough to they just let him right through. So, but yeah, I know what you mean about looking young when you're, 20, in your early 20s, you know. I turned 21 in prison doing life without parole. Mama tried. The price of those videos are, yeah, $20 for 6 dozen, for half, or no, half a dozen, for 6 cookies, $20. Wow. I just bought 2 dozen of Girl Scout cookies for $6, something like that. But yeah, it was like, wow. I don't know. Are they I know you're on the West Coast, are they herbally infused, cookies? I don't know how that works. Well, happy birthday, Pat. Happy birthday, 59th birthday. Awesome. Means you're a little over 10 years than me. That's not a lot. That's really not a lot. They're taking away your s'mores cookie. I'm sorry, Miss Helms. Yes, happy birthday, Pat. Definitely. That's awesome. Yeah, no, I picked up a pack of Samoas on my way in. I had my parents over for dinner tonight, and they were, you know, they my mom was getting ready to go in for dessert, and there was a couple Girl Scouts sitting there. I was like, there we go, right there for dessert, some Girl Scout cookies. I raised a Girl Scout, so I know how it is. You know what I mean? And I support them as much as I can. Well, basically, I buy cookies every time I walk by a stall. Basically, figure out one way and then wish them luck. You know. But yeah. Hi, Tracy's. Welcome in. Hey, Brandon. How was your day? Nice to see you. Nice to see you too. Welcome in. I believe the topic just ended on. We just started on Girl Scout cookies. So, did you have Girl Scouts in Canada where you're at, Tracy? That's a good question. I don't know if that's. I think that's a U.S. thing. I know Boy Scouts is a U.S. thing. You know. Oh, Miss Helms. I do that for the staff that I work with. You know what I mean? They wanted me to. They were bugging me every day what was going on, and one time, I don't know if I told you the story of why I started doing that, but um one time one of the valets was like, he had his phone and he was doing it. I said, "What are you doing? Taking pictures of what's for dinner in the warmer?" And he says, "I'm making a video, say hi," and I was like, "Oh, hey, hi." And I said, "What are you doing?" He goes, "I'm making a video so I can show the guys when I get back to the valet pit where they all got to kind of hang out to run the cars." And he says, "I'm making a video so that I can show the guys what we got for dinner tonight." And I said, I just started doing like YouTube things. I could do one better. I could put it on YouTube and then you guys can just watch it every night. And that's what they started doing. So anytime I'm making dinner for them, I'm posting it for them. So that's that's what I do. I just show what we're eating. And 9 times out of 10, I'm usually eating the same dinner. And Miss Helms, anytime you see me post one of those videos, you know that I've got a double that I have to work, which means I'm usually there till 9, 10 o'clock. So any night that those videos come up, that's a double for me, you know. So yes, I know you're my number one commenter, I believe, on those videos, Miss Helms. So brownies, younger girl guide. Okay. Yes, we have brownies here, and then they turn into Girl Scouts. That's exactly. Yeah. I had a daughter that went through the whole process. So, you know. John D'Lo Flow in the house. Nice to see you too, brother. Thank you. Welcome in, man. It's Miss Helms. It's I can guarantee you if you were in the same profession for 20 years, you would get good at it. I can guarantee you anybody with any intelligence. I started off, I didn't have any traditional culinary training. My father was a cook, and he taught me to cook when I was young. Like I remember, I think the first thing that he taught me was how to make scrambled eggs. And I was like on a little, I had a little stool that I had to step on, but he taught me how to make scrambled eggs and stuff. But he was a cook at nights. He was a mechanic during the day, but he worked nights, doing that. But that's one of my earliest memories remembering. But it's kind of science, and if you understand science, you know, um, like why things, it's a cross between science and art. It's the best way that I can describe it, because the science is how to do the actual procedures and how to do things like that. Why do potatoes turn brown if you cut them and leave them open? Oxidization. Um, is there a way to prevent it? Yeah, you put them in a bowl of water. You know, but it's scientifically. There's a reason why everything's happening with the food. Fermentation. There's another example. It's scientifically, but there's there's a lot of things, but cooking is basically half science and half art. The rest of it is flavor profiling and what goes with this, what goes with that. Matching that. Let's see. Hey, John. Everybody's greeting John. Welcome in. Well, this is geology. Oh, okay, understandable. Yeah, but you understand basic science. That's where I'm getting at. It's simple. It's simple to learn. Um, but you have to understand going into it that it's not just an art. It's not just a glamour. You know, you stupid cow. You can't do that. No, it's not. It's not a glamour thing. You have to go in understanding that it's an actual trade, and you have to learn the different sciences and why. If you do this, the potatoes are going to turn out brown. If you do this, your fried onions are going to be limp. You know, it's all about science. My I'm going to give you an example. All right, I put that buffalo onions. I have a friend that opened up a restaurant up in northern Maine, and he called and he was like, I can't get my crispy onions they're not staying crispy. They're just always being limp and soggy. And when you get those crispy onions, those buffalo onions or whatever, we put that buffalo onion, we put those on top of our steaks and serve them. But he was having a problem. He couldn't do it. So I made a video. I was like, okay, I'll just make a video and show him how to do it, that we do it because I do it. And believe it or not, I got the recipe from one of Emerald's cookbooks like 10 years ago. And we've been using them at the club ever since, you know? So let's see. Sorry. Got on a rant. John's in the house. Welcome, John. I haven't seen you in a while, bud. Yes, exactly. Tracy's apple juice. Same thing with you do with avocados, um, because the acidity stops the oxidization. Um, exactly the same thing. But my point is that's there's a science. There's a reason that you do everything that you do. So it's yeah, I've just been real busy, buddy. I've been really, really busy because even though we're this is our slow time of year where I'm supposed to be having a lot of time off, they're booking parties at night. So I'm coming to work and if they've got a party for till 8 o'clock at night, whatever, I'm stuck there, So it is. It's good to see you in, though. Yeah, I haven't chat with you, John, in a while, man. I'm glad to see you're still kicking. Glad to see you're still around, buddy. It is a party. It is a party. Hmm. You actually came up in our last live. I think the last live was me and Mrs. Helms and um, maybe like two other people. But you actually came up in the conversation. It had to do with the old Discord group that we had, and wasn't really a good one, but yeah, yes, it was Michelle. It was you, Michelle. They were just a handful of people in and out, but you know. But in the game world, I get arrested a lot on 5M. I don't know what 5M is. Is that the country western one? Yeah, yeah. It's the gaming for Grand Theft Auto. Okay. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You had the where you. I remember the video you did, Miss Helms. This is pretty funny, John. It's a role play video where some people are cops, some people are criminals. You'd be, I guess, whatever you want in there. And John decided that he just started irrigating and farming in front of the police station, and he just made a whole weed farm in front. And it was hilarious because he was just, I'm just a farmer, just farming. He's growing plants. So he turned the front of the police station into a. I remember that video, John. That was funny. Yeah, that was funny, John. It disrupted the flow of things. Yeah. Yeah, Michelle was with me and Miss Helms here. I think it was 2 nights ago, three. I think it was Sunday night, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, shit, the time's going by quick. When I work these nights, these days blend together. Yeah. I was going live every night for a little bit just to out of boredom, but you know. Okay. I think she's got my notifications up. She's usually one of the first ones in. So yes, me too, Miss Holmes. We got spring break coming in. It's gonna be insanely busy. And I've got a wedding I'm catering on the 22nd. And the wonderful thing is last night my daughter called me and told me that the oven is broken. I've got double ovens that I was going to use to cater this party with. And now I don't know. The electrician from my work is going to come on Monday and check it out. Hopefully, it's just something like a wire or something like that. But um, yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know what I'm going to have to do. They had to cater a wedding for 100 people. I had to cook like 65 pounds of pork butts. In my ovens here, I could do it, but I don't know. The only other option I've got is because I work Friday night, I get home at like 10 o'clock, is to maybe put them in the Cajachino, which is a charcoal based box. I mean, I can do it, but then I'm gonna have to go to sleep to get up to prep for the rest of the party. So I don't want to leave a live fire going on all night. Well, number one, I can burn the hell out of everything because I'm not supervising it. And yeah, number two, the sparks could ignite a fire somewhere, you know. That would not be fun. Yeah, I'm hoping it's gonna get fixed. Oh, I forgot about that. My brother lives in Panama City. Panama City. Yeah, that's not far in the scheme of things. I'm closer to him than I am to you. That's for sure. Imagine being on film while at work. I was on a few videos at work. It actually made me nervous when they were doing videos for their club. We're at work. We've got to be very. We're not allowed to post social media videos. You know. Um, so it's like, but one time, one of the board members was running through, and he's got this big camera crew, like literally the guy out with the camera, and they were just doing a film on the thing. Peter Piper Pizza. I've never heard of that. That must be an Arizona thing. I've never heard of that. All right. Well, you take care, Pat. Have a wonderful night and enjoy your day after birthday. Happy birthday, either way, Pat. Thank you so much for joining. That was nice. That was nice of her to join. She's one of the newer subscriptions, you know. And she's got her own page. She's a content creator as well. Um, been going on in between, especially when you were on hiatus, Mrs. Helms. Now I can't even keep up with you. You're posting all those, but I guess you did all the recordings at one time and are uploading them by as you go. You're stockpiling them, I guess you could say. I'm enjoying all of them. You had a fun little trip this last weekend. I think it was this last weekend. Let's see. I hope you're feeling better, by the way. Are you feeling better? I know you said you weren't feeling good, so I hope you are. You'll have to excuse me for 1 minute. Yes, we went to the event this past Saturday. Oh, yes, I did. I don't know what your response was. The picture that you saw with the cuts of meat from the pig, and I know I looked at my comment, and I mean it's too late to change it, obviously, but it was different cuts of meat, like bacon here. This it was the pig, but it was showing all the parts. That reminded me of when I first started my job over here. I was an assistant butcher, and they had a giant one of a cat up there, and it was like beef flank tenderloin. They literally had it just like that, and that's what it reminded me of. And I was like, oh wow, that was really cool. Well, I'm glad you got your fever down. I'm glad you're feeling better enough to go back to work at least. That's good. Yeah, I did like that. That reminded me, like I said, of the first time when I first started off as a butcher walking in. I was a line cook, and they kind of hired me to go there as a butcher's assistant. You know, so excuse me for 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Be right back. Okay, I'm back. Vortex. Hello, Vortex. Is that Vega? I'm not sure. If I click it, it'll pause the whole. It'll pause the whole thing. Oh, Aiden. Aiden. Welcome from Greece. Yeah, you changed your name around there. You want me to call you Aiden or Vortex? What do you want to be? What do you want me to address you as, sir? Aiden? Okay, Aiden. Well, welcome in. What time is it in Greece? I'm going to tell you guys what the weather is here. It's I know you see me with the cardigan on, and oh, 63 degrees here. That's pretty cool. 3:50 a.m. Wow. That's early. Are you up late or are you up early? That's the question. Have you gone to bed yet, or are you wake up early? Because I'm up at sometimes at 4 o'clock, but sometimes it's because I'm awake early, and sometimes it's up because I'm up very late, you know? Oh, well, good morning to you then, sir. Welcome. Good morning to you. What is the temperature where you're at? You too, Ms. Helms. I'm curious to see what the temperature is, where everybody's at, because the difference can be substantial, you know? Like I said, I'm at 61 right now. 61 degrees. Yeah, Aiden, I don't understand that. I don't know. That's not Arabic. What language was that? 48. Okay, you're not freezing, so that's good. Is that Indian? Oh, that's Greek? Oh, that is Greek. What did you say in it, Aiden? I'm curious to see what you said. 54. So Aiden, Miss Helms, Aiden's in Greece, and he's closer to temp than you are for me in the United States. Huh? We're doing good. We're just friends chit chatting. Now that you're here, it's a group chat. Awesome. Mm. That's right, Aiden. So, well, in all honesty, that's it's not that much of. I mean, you're pretty much 50. I'm 60, and he's 55. So we're not that far off. I guess it's just the northern hemisphere. We're just all in the same kind of boat. I wanted, I wanted one of you guys to say it's -10. you know, I don't know. I haven't been watching the weather lately. I've been too busy at work and stuff. So you know, it is what it is. Trying to trying to get this thing centered. I'm on my laptop, so it's in the construction zone with my little green. There we go. It says reversed. My little green hat. There you go. It looks like a little crown. This is my St. Patrick's Day crown. Right, there it is. So, yeah. You went to the Parthenon today. Did you go on a like a school trip, or did you just went on your own? Oh, that's awesome, man. Are you interested in history and stuff like that? Because Miss Helms is actually a professor in history. Miss Tora Helms, that's on with us right now. She's yeah, she's a you should check out her channel then. She's into history. She's got she loves history. Good. I'm guessing out of 100, not 200, right? 98 out of 100. Good for you, Aiden. That's awesome. But yeah, if you want to talk history, Miss Tara Helms is the one to talk to, not me. Well, that's why I kind of like was fudging up because I didn't know exactly what to say, Miss Helms. But you know a hell of a lot more about history than I do. That's for damn sure. Um, you know, I know the highlights. You know the behind the scenes. You know, so to speak. So you have a master's. That's way more. I don't, Miss Helms. I don't even have a high school diploma. Believe it or not, I have a general education diploma. But that's because I was too much in a rush to learn the world, move out, and do my own thing. You know, wait, I want to get that. I want to get it just right. There we go. Little piece of tape in the back. Yes. But then it's funny, Miss Helms, because I've got a friend who's quadriplegic, and when I got in trouble, I had to perform community service. So what I did was he needed a note taker while he was in college, and I sat with him in his college classes and took notes for him just for community hours. He was my friend and my roommate, and you know, I was just hanging out with him while he was going to college. Basically, I sat next to him and just wrote everything that he asked me to write. But I was also writing um, whatever I thought necessary. I was paying attention. I was attending the classes with him, you know. But it was fun because then I would literally be his writer for the test, and he would be like, "What's the answer?" And I said, "Yeah." This is cheating, Phoenix. Come on, man. You don't remember this? This is back in, just think, 3 days ago. You can't talk during the thing, but nobody really gave him a hard time, but he leaned on me a little bit because when it comes to stuff like that, I can retain useless knowledge. So it was fun. You're saving your euros up. It's hard to, yes, especially with the Phoenix. Yeah, yeah. He was over in he came to my house 2 weeks ago. He has a paralyzed left arm. It's kind of like it sticks like this. And as he has a motorized wheelchair because he can take the bus from his house in Lake Worth, which is about 15 miles away. He can take the bus here and it drops him about a mile off the road, but he's got a motorized wheelchair. And it gets him over here and his arm that sticks out like this, it's immobile. But he hit I have a picture frame that's like right at that level, and he gave himself a laceration. He hit the picture frame, the glass shattered. I don't know what happened. I was in the other room when it happened. I was in the living room and he was like going by. And his ride was coming out, and they've got very timed rides for when they can pick him up and stuff like that. And I'm trying to patch him up. I mean, because he's bleeding, and I can't even find any freaking duct tape to do something. But he was bleeding. We ended up like getting toilet paper and patching on because he had a nurse at home once he got home, but he can't miss his ride. If he misses his ride, it was like, it was very hectic. I asked the lady, I couldn't find any bandages, and we ended up getting it. We ended up finding stuff. Like my daughter came out with a Band-Aid, and I'm like, no, he had like a 2-inch laceration on his arm, and it was bleeding. He couldn't feel it. He's got no sense of feeling on that side of his body, so which is kind of scary because if it was really bad, he could have bled out and not even known that he was bleeding. He didn't even realize it. All right, good night. Enjoy your day, buddy. Good seeing you, Aiden. Thank you for coming by, man. His name is Aiden. He's a young guy from Greece. One of my first subscribers on live. Yeah, no, I see him all the time. He's one of my best friends. I was the best man at his wedding. I've known him since I was 16 years old. And he had his car accident, which paralyzed him when he was 22 years old. And he's about six years older than me. So, he's one of my good friends, Phoenix. We've done a lot of adventures together. He's doing good. His brother passed away, so I flew up with him to Detroit. I want to say 2 summers ago. I think that was it. Yeah, I see him. I've got several anecdotes with him. Yeah, his brother was in Detroit. His brother he bought the 54th precinct in Detroit. I think it was the 54th. I don't know. I got the T-shirt because his son took over everything. But I guess they had an electric chair in there. But they converted it into a museum, but the shooting range was still down there. Um, they were making more money on going to ghost hunters and stuff like that because I guess there were so many executions down there and stuff, and the paranormal activity was. They would do ghost tours and stuff like that, and they were making more money on that. Which his brother was uh, what do you want to call it? Software engineer, and he was going to set it up, and he designed this company called Server Behind Bars, and literally it was going to be behind the old jail cells where their servers were. Nobody could have access to the servers except for, you know, he was a tech guy, and he was doing that, but he was making more money with the ghost hunters coming in and doing stuff like that. So yeah, it was the Detroit riots. It was you're a history person. What am I telling you? Um, it was the jail during the Detroit riots because they had pictures up on the wall of the history of it, where the guys with the machine guns, the rifles, army guys, stuff like that, barricading it and I guess defending it. I don't know. I'm not familiar with that part. Yeah, you may be more familiar with it than me, but it was very interesting to go there. And then me and Phoenix were getting ready to get back on the plane to leave. This was the last day we're visiting the precinct, and they were like, "Hey, we got a few guns. We're gonna go shoot them downstairs." I said, "I'm getting ready to get back on a plane." Phoenix, being in an electric wheelchair, he's got to go through like a specific security process to get onto a plane. They like literally get Q-tips and swab different parts of all of his thing, make sure he's not carrying any bombs, you know. And I said, I don't think me having gunpowder residue on me, as much as I would love to have. I'm not. I love to shoot. But it just wasn't the right time. I didn't want to get on a plane with gunpowder residue, and then on top of that, getting swabbed with Phoenix and getting on the plane. Just wasn't the right time because it was only like a few hours away from that. So no, not machine guns. Did I say machine guns? If I did, I misspoke. I'm sorry. No, they had a couple handguns that they were going to shoot down in the gun range, but they had a police training gun range. It was like in the middle of Detroit. Like literally, there was a school across the street, but there was a fire station right next to it, almost built next to it. I want to say 54. Oh, I got my phone. That's right. I forgot. I'm on the laptop. That means I get to use my phone. So Detroit 54th precinct. No, that's not it. Haunted police pre haunted police precinct in I said New York. God damn it. I get it. Haunted police precinct in Detroit.
According to Wikipedia, the former 6th Precinct McGraw Station is a historic building located at 6840 McGraw Avenue in Detroit, Michigan.
Okay, did you hear that? 6th precinct. I'm sorry. I've actually got a t-shirt that says it. So, let me click it. Yeah, that's it. It's the 6th. You can Google it. 6th precinct. and they had like ghost hunters go on it and stuff like that. They've got a whole you're not missing much, Miss Holmes. I hate to say it, but yeah, it was very empty and very desolate and very yeah, nothing glamorous about it. I'm sorry. The best part about it was the airport. They had a giant um you had to go underneath the runway from one end of the airport to the other, and they had these like little things, and they had this giant thing of lights, which was pretty cool, pretty awesome. One of the biggest airports I've ever been in my life, um, which is cool. That's about it. Yeah, there was not very much else impressive around there, you know. Game over. Brr, brr, brr. Are you saying I'm gonna get canceled from the Detroit guys? I hope not. I need my crown. If I don't do it right. Wait, that's not. See, like I said, I gotta. There we go. I've gotta. It's backwards. If I move to the left, I go to the right. If I move to the right, I go to the left. So it's kind of hard. It's kind of like cutting your hair in the mirror by yourself. There we go. There we go. My little green hat. Hey, happy St. Patty's Day. Now, Miss Helms, I had a friend that was from Chicago, Jason. Actually, he was on when we were on the chat the other day. He's the one that told me that there were places in Chicago where there were neighborhoods where you didn't stop at stop signs unless you wanted to have your car jacked. It was so bad. You just kept driving. As soon as you stopped your car in those neighborhoods, you might as well just jump out and abandon your car. You know? Yeah. You remember? Yeah. It was you, me, and Melissa, and then Jason joined us. Now I remember. Yeah, Jason joined us, and yeah, Jason's a local friend of mine. Just got out of the hospital. Um, he's got some diabetes concerns and some heart issues. But yeah, he was telling me because he grew up in the '90s over there, early late '80s, early '90s. But yeah, that Midwest, they got a little crazy over there. Let's see if I can do this. Mm, mm. There we go. I got it. I got it. Kinda. I kinda got it. I'm just not used to the whole reverse camera thing. Because even when you got the new cars, I had a rental car, and when you got that camera, at least that's the right way. But it's kind of trying to adjust to I don't know. I don't know. Are you crying? Is that what that pink thing is? Oh my goodness. I'm sorry. If I'm making you cry, I'm sorry. Oh, you're laughing. Oh, okay. Oh, it's laughing with teardrops. Okay, I couldn't tell what that is. I didn't know what the pink one was. Okay. Well, I'm glad you're having a good time. I know I am. I just heard my wife got home. All right. My wife just got home from work, so I am going to go greet her. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming in. Might be just you, Miss Helms, but I appreciate it. Always love the conversation. Always love it. Um, you, I'm on Discord. If you go by the same name, look me up on Discord and send me a link. Then you can send me private messages. Um, which is 100% fine. Yeah, I think you and I are the only ones on here this time. Anyways, um, have a great night, and thank you for joining, hanging out. I had fun. Yeah, Discord. You sign up, and it's you add or delete whoever you want. It's almost like private mail. That's kind of why most people like it, because you can add or delete anybody as you see fit. You know, what you give them access to, you can control. So it's a way of communicating with people outside of YouTube without giving them your home phone number, basically. So, but yeah, you can look me up on Discord, Brandon of Palm Beach. Um, I'm there. Then you could send messages, voice messages, photos, share things like that. Yes, yes, I would love to try a pie.
Try it.
Oh, my daughter's in cooking club. Can I view it? Can I show Miss Helms? My daughter made pie at her cooking club. That's what's left of it, I guess. What kind of pie is this, love?
It's like lemon meringue.
It's lemon meringue. My daughter was in cooking club tonight, and it was in a.
Meringue, but
It's like lemon meringue.
yeah.
Okay. So she made lemon meringue, and
You go try it.
yes, I would love to try it. Just give me a minute. I'm just finishing up right now. I'm gonna go in and say hi to mommy.
Tell them how good it is.
You want me to do it live?
Yeah.
I'll do a live tasting one time, but not tonight, because I'm just saying good night. I want to go say hi to you. Anyways, sorry. All right. I need to go. I'm sorry. But have a wonderful night, Miss Helms. Anybody else watching? Have a great night.